I expected some more changes too, like our teammate crashed in the pregame lobby and it didn't give us the option to leave, and we lost SR for that match when we died later. So it's like those things that are not supposed to be happening are still happening. So I really hope that gets fixed ASAP. And of course, it seems like the dev errors are back, probably worse than they've been this season. Seeing a lot of people talk about dev errors losing SR, so that's all a disaster. That reconnect feature needs to come like now, like ASAP.
For ad-free episodes, as well as early access and bonus episodes, check out our Patreon. Activision devs do not play their own game.
3,000 devs can't figure out how to add a reconnect feature to a AAA title, I guess. I don't know.
Because Infinity Ward doesn't tell their consumers anything.
Maybe that'll take some of the sweats away from Shoot House.
You can cope about that, for sure.
Thanks for tweeting, at least. Thanks for doing more than Infinity Ward has done. They just keep tweeting about the soccer bundles in the store.
Things that are bad. We've got a couple words. Why don't you kick it off, Tanner?
This is going to be a longer section than the first part you guys heard.
Change it, obviously, of course. We are live. Boys and girls, welcome to the Dropshot Call of Duty Podcast, episode number 327. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. Today, I'm joined by Tanner in the stirrups. Back in the saddle again, huh?
Yeah.
Got some
laundry?
Is that so,
man?
Is it laundry day today?
Yeah, our washing machine broke, so I have to do laundry at my parents' right now.
You doing it old school or just throwing it in the parents? That's cool.
Yeah, say drop it off. Say, here, Mom, do my laundry, please.
Bitch. Yeah.
Jesus,
that's what you said to her. But anyway,
yeah.
That's what you wanted to say because you don't like women. That's a joke.
Okay,
welcome to the show. Today, that's actually a joke. We are doing an episode on Call of Duty. News and upcoming changes. As far as we are aware, there are a couple things to talk about. Not too much, though, frankly.
Yeah, not too much going on.
I think more than that, I kind of want to talk about just the ranked scene so far. Because for a variety of, well, I mean, unsurprisingly, ranked is evolving. Ranked Warzone. And there were a lot of questions that a lot of people had, ourselves especially, about how well ranked would be received, how well it would be released, and if it did not flop, which it has absolutely not done, luckily, what the ranked kind of playbook is, what the meta perks are, strats, guns, etc. And we've seen lately some rather surprising little developments, some surprising strategies, surprising gun setups, surprising attachments, and in lieu of much news or patches to talk about today, there are some, but I do want to get a little bit into that and just kind of, take a look at what every really big streamer who's top 250 is doing with their classes and whatnot, and kind of get into the details on those, because I think a lot of that stuff is very interesting. And again, some of it's surprising. Like, I didn't expect to see, ammo types, for example, but we'll get into that. Before that, we have a couple of announcements here. First of all, we got a couple of new patrons, and by that I mean exactly 2. So there are 7 days in a week, and we got 2 patrons in that week. That's weird.
Rank save Warzone, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I guess they're buying engine-owning subscriptions instead of joining the Patreon, which is a shame for us specifically. Yeah. So, with that said, we did get a couple of heroes. Moises, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that name. E, welcome, buddy.
Yeah, it's Moises.
A new platinum patron and friend of the pod, an absolute king. Thanks, buddy. I've never heard that name before. Have you? You seem unsurprised by it.
Yeah, I've seen Moises. Only like one or I've never met any, or I've never personally met anyone named it, but I've heard the name before. Yeah.
What type of, is that like a Hispanic name?
Yeah. It's a Hispanic name. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, look at his last name. Yeah.
Well, that's why I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little Hispanic.
It sounds kind of Jewish to me. Moises. Sounds like a Yiddish name,
Does it?
Maybe just because it's like Moses, though.
Yeah,
And the
that's
Jews
definitely
love
why.
Moses, dude. Moses is the boy of the Jews, which is fine, you know. Also, it's weird to say the Jews, isn't it?
Them Jews, yeah.
Probably shouldn't
It sounds derogatory when you say the Jews, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't either. It's not. I mean,
I think it's because all the Jewish jokes growing up when you're in like middle school and stuff, South Park making fun of the Jews, it's kind of just like, saying the Jews is not right. But
I think if you put the in front of any race, it's not great.
The whites, the blacks. Yeah, I guess so. It does sound bad. Yeah.
The Mexicans.
Even the same thing, Jews, blacks, whites. Yeah, it does. I guess all of it sounds weird. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We're all just really one human race. That's really what matters, if you ask me.
And we should all get along. That's amen. Amen. So anyway, Moises, Hispanic Jew, thank you very much, dude, our new platinum patron, and more importantly, our new annual platinum patron, saving some cash, Sweet Meat Sam.
Wow, that's great. I like that a lot.
Yeah. What is
that's
a
a
Sweet
great
Meat?
name.
I don't know.
That's why I like it. It doesn't make any sense. It sounds disgusting.
Honeyed ham? Honeyed ham Sam? Candied ham? What's it called? Honey ham? Ham honey?
Candied ham?
Candied ham?
Ham hock.
Ham hock?
Honey ham?
Honey
baked ham? You like honey baked hams?
Sweet Meat Sam?
You like honey baked hams?
No. Honey baked
Really?
ham, that's what I was thinking of. No.
You don't
I don't
like
like ham at all.
Okay.
Boring.
Yeah, you're extremely picky, huh?
I'm not picky. I'll eat it, but I don't like it. It's boring. Ham is boring.
Yeah, even then, it's not that you don't like it. It's just it's ham. It's the best type of ham, too, honey baked ham.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm going to eat ham, that's what I'll go.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty good.
Anyway, Sweet Meat Sam. Thank you very much, dude. New annual platinum patron, patreon.com/the Dropshot. Speaking of the Patreon, by the way, we just released an episode lately on Ranked Warzone, which will be the topic of conversation for quite a while, unsurprisingly to most of you, I would imagine. And the episode we did was things we want to see changed for Ranked Warzone, based on our observations so far. It was an early episode, early draft, obviously. One caveat we did not mention that we usually do is that our stance is subject to change. Tanner might have already changed his opinion on one of the things we talked about in that episode. I might have as well. I would need more time to think about it. But many of the things I will never change my opinion on. Spoiler alert, for example, there shouldn't be AI in Ranked Warzone. There was one thing I wish for. But there were other things as well that are maybe a little less obvious. I enjoyed that episode tremendously. I think some of the things we talked about are more likely than others to actually come to pass in terms of an overhaul to the ranked system of Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. But that episode is now live for all of our patrons. So if you are a patron, you can go listen to it. If not, you can join any tier and go listen to it. Any tier patron gets access to every Call of Duty bonus episode, and then all of our public episodes you get ad-free and early access as well. If you wanted Q&A or behind the scenes for patrons only, it's the higher tiers are for, and other benefits as well, of course. But if you're like a COD, purist and you want more of it, you want it sooner and without ads, you can just join at gold. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. How did you enjoy that last bonus episode we did?
Yeah, I thought it was good. A couple of the things that we talked about that needed to be removed that should have never made its way into Warzone Ranked for a second, they're already gone, so that's cool. They already took some of those things out that we talked about, so that's pretty dope.
Oh, yeah.
But
which we'll get into.
Yeah, so I think it was a fun episode to do. There's a lot more that we'll think of and come up with the more we play it, things that need to change, restrictions. Yeah, still, I'm not fully set on the SR system, how that should change. So I'm very interested to see what they do going into Season 4, because I think undoubtedly there will be some changes to the SR system in terms of SR costs and whatnot. So I hope they don't make it too drastic, and really just tank the SR required to get into a match, and then kind of just ruin the top 250. So yeah, I thought it was a fun episode.
Yeah, I agree. I think there will definitely be changes to SR in some capacity, whether that's the fees or the rewards or whatever. That seems almost certain to change. In what direction, I don't know, but it's not like they're never going to change that again. So that'll be interesting to see exactly how they do that. And another thing too is like, I would almost want to wait until season 4 ranked is done before you have a good sense on what the SR, rewards for like a kill, for example, are, and the entry fees should be. Yeah. Because you kind of need a full ass season to really get a sense for what a sober, SR cost is or something.
Yeah.
So, but still, we'll see. Anyway, yeah, that episode is now live on the Patreon. We've got some other episodes cooking. We're going to do a ranked or a Warzone brainstorm for sure. We have a couple other ideas, but at least one more ranked Warzone episode definitely on Patreon. And then I think we're going to also do another little Ashika revisit, because that's the other thing that we've been enjoying. So yeah, if you're a Warzone gamer right now, very good time to join the Patreon. Even if you don't play ranked Warzone, by the way, if we do an episode about like, how to do well in ranked, that's going to obviously translate to pubs. So that'll have utility whether you play ranked or not, unsurprisingly. So, and also as a reminder, this Saturday, tips and tricks for ranked Warzone. A lot of ranked talk. That's what everyone's eyeballs are on. And that's where our interest is as well. So yeah, this Saturday we will be talking about how to do well in ranked Warzone, as far as we can tell anyway. So some of this is going to be based on our own experience, and then a lot of it's also going to be based on what we're seeing the most successful ranked Warzone players do. You would be unwise to ignore what the, number 20 player in the world is doing. So we'll talk about that as well as, incorporate our own kind of experience. So anyway, before we get into the episode, we do have a couple of interest payments to talk about. This is from Chad L. Gave us 5 United States dollars. There was no message attached, but Chad, that's a Chad move. And I appreciate that, and we appreciate that.
Shout out to him, dude.
Shout out to Chad being a Chad, the $5. Thank you very much, buddy. We got another dono from Sean S. Once again, donated 15 United States dollars. And I think this happened to him last time, but there's no note attached, which is really unfortunate, I guess, for him if he was trying to say something. So, maybe try again, use the message field if you want, or not, or you could just keep giving us money and not saying anything. That's fine too, Sean. But either way, whatever you say, we very much appreciate it, dude. Thank you very much for the $15. More importantly than you specifically, we got a dono of $20 from Cody Blue Carp, who says, for making it through all of the patch notes and not killing yourself in game, obviously, thank you. You're very welcome, Cody Blue Carp. Yeah. I don't know why we deserve, well, I do, of course. We deserve more than that. In fact, give us more, Cody, for making it through the patch notes without ending our own lives. That was a marathon episode, and we did deserve, in fact, extra bonus compensation. We worked overtime. And we're getting some of our overtime pay from Cody. It's really that simple. So thank you very much, true. Cody. We appreciate that. For the $20, another $20 donation from Edmund D. A lot of donos. A lot of interest payments. A lot of disgusting Black Cell operator bundle purchasing little rat fucks listening, huh? Not great. Not great. Or great. Yeah. One of the two, as long as you're paying your interest payments. Because if you buy Black Cell, of course, as a reminder, if you spent $30 on that, you owe us $30 plus interest. The interest goes up $10 a week. It would have been $40 last week. or no, it would have been $40 today. Next week it will, starting now it's $50. If you bought Black Cell and haven't paid us yet, you owe us $50 because it's the $30 principal and then the VIG, which is now $20, and that's going to go up $10 a week. So if you own Black Cell, you owe us $50 at least.
Is that what we're at? Yeah, nice.
So this is just paying the credit card balance, I believe. Edmund said this interest rate is what I imagine having a 310 credit score is like. Yes, probably. I wouldn't know. I've never been in debt before. Hashtag privilege. Also, hashtag I pay my full credit card balance every month because I have a brain. And can afford to, obviously. If you could afford to pay your credit card bill every month, you should probably do that, by the way. Hot take alert.
I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think that's a normal. Well, I guess it probably is a hot take to a lot of idiots. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. Yeah, that just don't, don't do that. But which is insane. Just own a debit card at that point. But anyway, Edmund, thank you very much for the interest payment. Your debt is now hereby, what is it? Absolved.
Yeah.
Edmund. Thank you very much, dude. We appreciate the $20 there. And last and most importantly, patios, baby. With the 23 weird number dollar donation. Oh, I get it. I see why. And he says, I really liked the triangle episode. The triangle table, of course, featuring Jacob Down. Jake's a great guest, as always. Well, Pat, indeed he is. Indeed he is, and thank you for the very odd 23 United States dollar donation. Now, another thing I think you accidentally typed. This might be a typo. I don't know what you meant to say, but this is obviously a typo. Please split this donation up 3 ways and share with Jake. I don't know what you were trying to say there, but I'm assuming that's a typo. So, yeah. Because that's, of course, unironically, that's not happening.
So he wants us to send $7.16 to Jake. That's interesting. That's super interesting.
Very interesting. And I mean, not at all happening. Thanks, though.
No, we won't be doing that.
We'll be pocketing that cash. We'll be pocketing
Jake should be paying us.
Frankly, for the exposure, yeah. Paid in exposure. That's what Jake got paid in. He got paid in exposure. Patio, I'm glad you liked the episode, dude. And thank you very much for the $23, none of which will be going to Jake. Here's the jingle. Elijah! Friend of the pod on YouTube, 6 months in an absolute row. 17 months till Black Ops 5. Keep counting down, man. We're gonna have to get a countdown going pretty soon, by the way, Tanner.
Really?
Run that little countdown back, yeah.
Yeah, well, we need the date first for the game's release, but yeah.
Tom Henderson gave us the date, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Can't sleep on Thomas J. Henderson.
Yeah, I guess so.
Elijah, thank you very much, dude, for the absolute membership. Welcome back. Another friend of the pod on YouTube. Now, welcome, boys and girls, to the program today. Call of Duty topics and things. So we got a small little patch here. This was on the 16th. I think there might have been one other one in the past week. Psych, it's Infinity Ward. Very small patch. A couple little weapon balancing changes. The GS Magna, which is of course the fully automatic Desert Eagle assault rifle chambered in 50 caliber form factor of your hand. Close range headshot armor damage reduced. Akimbo close range armor damage reduced and minimum armor damage added. So just giga nerfed. Probably miserable dog shit trash. It was miserable dog shit trash before the nerf, so now it's especially bad, I would imagine. F-Tac Siege armor damage reduced. So again, a little nerf there. This is Warzone only, obviously, but not as relevant. Although, I would think of this more in terms of Ashika. If you've been running that as your sub, maybe now you don't want to anymore because it's doing less armor damage. I don't know by how much, so no one knows.
Yeah,
But
could be 1% or 30%. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And then the X13 auto was also nerfed, which is kind of surprising. Not necessarily a bad thing, but close range headshot armor damage reduced, and then some akimbo nerfs as well. So nothing huge there, but unsurprisingly, those akimbo deagles got nerfed because they were doing some bonkers things at 1 meter. And then a couple of bug fixes. Quickly scanning here. Don't think much really matters. And then that's pretty much it.
I thought there was something else in here. People were getting kicked for inactivity in like the pregame lobby if they didn't move their character. That's been fixed.
Another big bug fix for Warzone 2 fixed an issue that allowed players to generate lethal equipment at a much higher rate than intended by repeatedly equipping perk packages that included the resupply perk. So that exploit bug has been patched out, so they say, which is good. That's a good thing, because the 12 drill charges in 2 seconds was not fun or exciting to be on the receiving
it was pretty
end
fun.
of. It was fun when Tanner was exploiting it, yeah, but besides that, not great.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's good. No surprises there. A couple other bug fixes for ranked play specifically. Yeah, so there you go. And that's pretty much it. So not much to talk about there. But yeah, a lot of unsurprising changes rather. The deagle
And
nerf
also
not surprising. The bug fix with the drill charges not surprising.
I expected some more changes too, like our teammate crashed in the pregame lobby and it didn't give us the option to leave, and we lost SR for that match when we died later. So it's like those things that are not supposed to be happening are still happening. So I really hope that gets fixed ASAP. And of course, it seems like the dev errors are back, probably worse than they've been this season. Oh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Seeing a lot of people talk about dev errors losing SR, so that's all a disaster. That reconnect feature needs to come like now, like ASAP. So hopefully that's in season 4, because there's been a lot of issues with that. Yeah. But yeah, they need to fix teammates crashing, because it's not giving you the... You can't even leave the game. There's literally no button to leave the match when your teammate crashes. You can't do anything.
I wonder what happens if you Alt F4 in that case. You just end the program.
I was watching Huskers do that, because I think Unrational crashed, and he's like, oh, just Alt F4, you guys won't lose SR. They did it. They loaded back into the game. One of them didn't lose SR, the other two did, and Huskers got a 15-minute suspension. So yeah, that was super cool.
For doing it once? Wow.
Well, I mean, he's probably crashed other times. I don't know, because yeah, it's weird that one time gave him 15 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
But he also didn't lose the full amount of SR. He lost like minus 30. And I think at that point he was, I mean, this was like a while ago, but he was still probably at like minus 110 SR entry fee. So, yeah. And they hadn't even played the match yet. So he only lost 30 for it. But yeah, weird. A lot of that is fucked up, and they need to fix all that hopefully rather soon.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's bad enough that you just have to leave a game. Like, that's already annoying enough. If you're like losing SR and there's nothing you can do about it on top of that, yeah, that's really shit. So hopefully they figure that out, but we'll see. Anyway, that's that. Let's see. Raven tweeted 2 days ago, we just released a minor update to re-enable stowing of perk packages. And so I guess they disabled and then re-enabled that again. I don't recall them disabling it. That's interesting. Keep it disabled. But anyway, we've also temporarily disabled the rebreather while we investigate an issue. Wonder what that issue was. But
which thing you talking about?
The rebreather, man.
Yeah, I never even saw one.
I never have seen one yet.
Yeah, I don't even know.
In any game mode. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just leave it out. That's my recommendation. But anyway, hopefully Raven doesn't fix it. Infinity Ward says, we've just released a small update to mitigate a known DC issue in DMZ, disconnect issue, and address frequency of BR final circles over water. So that's good. That was something we were bitching about a lot. This was tweeted yesterday. Don't know if it's true. I think it is, though. I have not seen many people complaining about water endings as much, which is good.
Yeah.
But remove water from BRs. That's my take. So anyway.
Yeah, or make it so you can see through it, maybe. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool too. Yeah.
A lot of things they could do, really. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, J-God posted a clip of the water on BO4, and it reminded me of how clear and easy to see it was in that. And even that was annoying to deal with, but that water was crystal clear.
Yep. In BO4, Jungle Flooded was a shit map because there was so much water everywhere, and if you were in it, you were super vulnerable, and you would just die.
Yeah.
And that's what I was worried about with the water in this game. Because my original complaint was water shouldn't be in a BR, because if the final circle puts one team on land and the other in the water, the team on land automatically wins. I was correct to be worried about water, but for the opposite reason. If you're in the water, you're invincible and you auto win. And if you're on land, you're a fucking idiot. And you're just going to get destroyed by someone who is invincible and invisible.
Yeah.
So kind of a weird little change up there, but either way, take the fucking water out. So anyway, and then Raven tweeted the same thing. Is this different, Tanner?
I guess not. No, that's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they just tweeted a few minutes later. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, yesterday, Treyarch tweeted, Warzone 2 rank play beta restrictions have been updated to include the cluster mine and bomb drone.
Let's go.
Fuck woo! Both kill streaks will no longer drop from loot containers, and the revive pistol will replace the cluster mine in buy stations, because there is now a static buy menu, meaning you can buy 2 revive pistols at each buy station now, whereas before you couldn't buy any. Or if you could, maybe it was like sometimes, but now you're guaranteed 2. So that's pretty interesting. I do wonder, how much does a revive pistol cost compared to a self-revive kit, which is also a guarantee of 2 at each buy station?
That's a good question.
Because you'd think they'd be the same amount, or they should be, basically. Now, the devs might argue a revive pistol is worth more since you can also shoot it at other players, but no one has ever fired a revive pistol in Warzone 2. Not once, ever. It's
they don't work very well.
Self-res.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've tried shooting them at teammates, and I swear, like 1 out of 10 times, you'll actually hit them. Like, they have to, like, full on not be moving. You have to stare at them for so long, line up the shot. It's a disaster, yeah.
And the thing about a revive pistol is, once you inject the dart, you can't move. Whether you're selfing with it, or if you're shooting a teammate, the teammate won't be able to move while the self-revive happens. And the problem with that is, if I'm going to actually shoot it at my teammate, if my teammate is in an area where I can't just walk up to them and res them, then shooting them with a pistol isn't going to help, because that means they're in the open and they're just going to keep getting shot and die. But if they are in a place where I can shoot them with the revive pistol and the self-revive timer can go off safely, then I can probably just get to them in the cover there and res them anyway. So there's no use case for a revive pistol other than another self-res.
It is just another self-res, yeah.
So, with that said...
very few people pull it off. Actually, the other day, too, when I was watching Huskers, same thing. Unrational was trying to shoot a revive pistol at him, and he was yelling at Huskers. He's like, stop moving! I keep trying to hit you,
That's
and I can't. And he fired... He's like 15 meters away. Could have already rezzed him. I don't even know why he was trying to use it. Fired 3 shots before he finally hit him. Yeah, it's a disaster.
Wait, if you miss, you still have the field upgrade?
Well, you have 4 uses when you shoot it. Yeah, it has 4 uses.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Does it also when you use it on yourself?
No, it burns it.
Okay. That's why I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, because you've never shot it. Yeah, because you're right. There's no reason to usually.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. That's hilarious. So anyway, with that said, there are effectively 4 self-reses in trios at each buy station. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's a good thing they removed cluster mines and bomb drones from ranked. They removed them from pubs also. But this is like, there's nothing to talk about. Like, good job. Shouldn't have been in the first place, but whatever. It's fine. But the more interesting conversation is, yeah, do we want 4 self-reses at each buy? Guaranteed. I think I don't, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because now it's like you're really going to have to just self everyone. Or full everyone.
Full everyone, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you basically already have to, because also self-revives aren't hard to find, so even though there are 2 of them, or especially pistols, if you loot, honestly, I would say 4 medical cabinets, I would say 1 out of 4 of those will usually have a revived pistol. Self-revives themselves are a little bit more rare, but you'll find pistols a lot. I think a lot of people actually just skip them over because they look like stims when they come out. The only way you can tell a difference is 2 stims will pop out and the revived pistol. So then you know,
see 3
there's
things.
a third. Yeah, if you're just basing it off looks, I would just always think it was 3 stims when you're looting quickly.
Yeah. So yeah, if you open those little medicine cabinets in like bathrooms, 2 stims will pop out. Like, guaranteed. Exactly 2. So if more than 2 things fly out of the fucking shelves, then you know you just got either a self-revive, which is obvious because you'll see a giant briefcase flying out, or, the revived pistol. So you should always be opening those, by the way. Because, I would say it's like an actual 20% spawn rate, the revived pistol, in those little cabinets. So, anyway. We'll see how that plays out. But overall, I'll absolutely take it if it means no more clusters and bomb drones. So Treyarch added on to that tweet. As outlined in the patch notes, Warzone 2 rank play competitive settings are a multi-team effort to deliver competitive and fair matches. Restrictions are updated based on data and feedback, and restricted items may return in an upcoming season after undergoing balance changes. So that's a good thing. And not surprising from Treyarch. So, anyway. We have a little emergency here, so we will not be able to talk about the ranked scene so far, but we have a couple other news items.
We can talk about it on Saturday, too, because the episode we're doing is ranked. We can start off with talking about that, what we want to say.
Yeah.
The ranked tips guide.
So now we're getting into news and upcoming changes. What do we got, buddy?
So a lot of tweets from Charlie Intel here. They had some sort of interview, or Dexerto, who owns Charlie Intel, had an interview with Infinity Ward recently, so they kind of had some things to talk about here. So first up, Infinity Ward told us at Dexerto in a recent interview that prototypes for the DMZ mode were in development before Verdansk was even in development. We actually had working prototypes before we started making Verdansk. We felt that was a direction we needed to go. Think again. We felt those trends that early, but we didn't have the bandwidth to execute on it at the time. In general, good game development is to try crazy, scary stuff. Well, don't. You guys try some stupid
Infinity
things
Ward.
like AI. So
that's not
don't.
Good game development. Yeah, that's bad game development.
Yeah.
So, cool.
And quote, just trying different things. Sometimes they're first person, sometimes they're third person, sometimes they're one life, sometimes they're respawn, sometimes they're console or PC. Always playing and looking at what's there. It's just like anyone who writes books, they read a lot of books. Anyone who makes TV, they watch a lot of TV. So you kind of know what to know. You kind of want to know what you're getting yourself into and how you can stand out. That was a lot of words for not really telling us anything there. That was kind of that was like when you need a few more sentences to complete your essay.
Yeah, we hit the minimum page requirement there.
Yeah, that was super cool, Infinity Ward.
I am surprised DMZ was in development before Verdansk. This is Infinity Ward, so they could be lying. Keep that in mind. They love to lie.
They do enjoy a good lie every once in a while. Yeah.
You have to conclude that they enjoy lying with how much they do it. So they could be lying. But if it is true that DMZ was in development before Verdansk, that's pretty wild. Although that would be terribly surprising.
That'd have been like 6 years ago.
I think Tarkov was pretty big back then, wasn't it?
Also, developers say in development as in like they had an idea and they wrote it down on a whiteboard. So it could very well just be that. Like that's what in development means to them, is like you get an idea of something. Like, oh, we want to make a Call of Duty game in the year 2032. It's in development starting now because I wrote that down on our little chalkboard. So yeah, it doesn't really mean a whole lot either. But anyways, that's the fact that DNZ is in development for Verdansk is interesting. Next up, some other things. Infinity Ward developers have stated that a classic map is coming to MW 2 pretty soon. Oh, the old fan favorite coming back once the game's good and dead. Average Call of Duty.
Again, the classic
right
Infinity Ward strat. Yeah. Put your good maps in once everyone's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. The devs also explained their balance between classic maps and new maps, saying they see this, like, quote, "This new map sucks, bring back old maps" comments, but they also see the "we want new maps" comments. There's power and nostalgia of bringing those back. To be honest, there's a good, fun gameplay there. It's kind of silly to not use those and lean into the strengths of those maps. Kind of a broken record, but it's also this balance between brand new stuff and something that's familiar. Even when we do new maps, people will say, "Oh, I don't like this. This other map was way better." It feels almost like it takes some time to get used to something new. I kind of agree with that, yeah. Then suddenly 2 years later, like, "Oh man, Hackney Yard was a great map." But during the launch of it, you're like, "That was a piece of crap." True, actually. That was... People
Hackney's
disliked it,
good map.
but you know what it is Hackney was very good for MW 19. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a good map. It just means all the other maps in your last game were fucking abysmal.
Exactly.
So much that people think a mid map later was like, okay, I guess it wasn't bad. It's not bad compared to all the other maps in that shit game.
Exactly.
You build those memories with your friends, and eventually you have these rose tinted glasses of these maps.
I agree with everything he's saying there. Like, you want to bring back some maps, but you also want to do new ones. Shocking. But Hackney Yard was not a great map. Let's be clear. It was a good map. It was fine.
It really was probably the best Core 6's map in MW 19.
I think I like Ramaza better.
Insane. Ramaza was fun, not very well liked in general, though. Hackney was liked, I believe, by the competitive scene as well, I think.
Interesting.
Because they had some shit maps for that. I think they liked it, and in general, it was liked by pubs, yeah.
Yeah. Either way.
In pubs.
What was I going to say? But yeah, a classic map is coming to MW 2 pretty soon. I mean, yeah, that's not news. Of course, they're going to keep remastering maps. I just wish they would do it while I'm grinding camos. Like, they added firing range in slums. It's like, okay, cool, man.
Don't care, yeah.
Would love to play those for my fucking Orion, which I have, by the way. I have Orion, so anyway.
Nice.
That's cool.
They also said that, quote, "The final 3 maps for MW 2 this year are built more for competitive play." As a fun side note, I'll probably get in trouble for this. This is a quote from some dev. "But the last 3 maps of this year, we've kind of leaned into maps I think would play that style really well." Talking about competitive. And then Charlie Intel goes on to say the COD League for MW 2 ends in June.
I find this so fucking funny. Why would a dev get in trouble for saying that they're making more maps that would play well competitively?
Yeah, I'm not
what is that?
Quite sure what that means either, because it's not like any sort of leak saying like, "Oh, there's 3 competitive style maps coming." It's like you're just telling us there are 3 maps coming before the end of the game's life cycle. 3 maps at least.
And you think they'll play well for competitive, which means nothing to me. I have no idea if that's true. I don't think they are any more built for competitive after you saying that than before, because you don't know what a good competitive map is. So you've actually leaked nothing other than there are 3 more maps coming, which I guess is cool. But yeah, it's hilarious. He says, "Oh, I'll probably get in trouble for this." Oh, the Call of Duty dev is making maps for the game. Wow. Dude, you get reprimanded. Yeah. Holy shit, man. I hate them so much. I hate them so much.
Yeah, you don't like them much, do you?
So goddamn much. But
anyway, this one's interesting. Infinity Ward says that the shipment map released first with COD 4 in 2007 was never supposed to be released. It was an internal playtest map that was accidentally left in the game with Call of Duty 4. They said, quote, "This was supposed to be a split screen map back when that was a thing. We just had it in internal playtests on the playlist script. Our MP lead at the time, when we went live, they forgot to pull it out. And there's no going back. It was truly an accident." That is very funny to me.
Even in 2007,
I guess. No, so they haven't had a QA team for almost 20 years. Yeah,
it's a psyop. Yeah, that is funny.
Never bring it back, please. Leave it out of the game forever.
I'm not surprised at all that was like the map that the devs made just to play against each other for shits and giggles.
Especially COD 4
absolutely
shipment. It was the size of a bedroom. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's the least surprising thing. If you look at shipment, and you'd be like, okay, yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like the devs just made it to like jerk each other off. That makes complete sense. And then people loved it. That's hilarious.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. Yeah, by the way, just a reminder, Infinity Ward QA team is a PSYOP. It never existed, it turns out. You don't just leave a multiplayer map in your full release game on accident with a QA team. Both can't be true. So, yeah, there's no QA team, just to remind you guys. Still. So, anyway.
Last article here, breaking news. The European Union Commission has approved Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. So this is not the UK, who had previously denied it and is being... They're trying to redo that in what, a month or two, I think? They're meeting again to try to get it passed by the UK CMA. But yeah, so the European Union has approved it. They say the deal will support competition and that Call of Duty is not as important as Sony makes it out to be. Then they basically go on to say that Sony holds a strong lead in many parts of the world of video games, and Call of Duty is not nearly as popular in many parts of the world as Sony tries to make it out to be.
So the people that blocked it were the UK, not the EU.
It was the UK, right? CMA, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is now the European Union.
So why did they... If you got blocked by the UK, why are you asking other people? I guess because you plan
because you have to get it approved everywhere. Yeah, you have to get it approved in all regions. Yeah, but once you get
denied, doesn't that mean the approvals don't matter anymore? You know?
I guess, but, they're assuming it will get approved. They just
eventually
have to go through all of them. Yeah, because
right.
we didn't know anything going into it, but I know that a lot of people had said UK CMA was going to be the tough one to get by because they're real cocksuckers or something. They're real tough when it comes to those type of things. So I guess that wasn't too surprising that they got blocked there.
The English ruining things again. Interesting.
Yeah, them damn Brits, huh?
Oh, we love the English, actually.
We actually love the Brits. Yeah,
shout out to
Britain. But anyways, passed by the European Union. So we'll update you with the UK CMA info when we get more of that. Probably in a month or two. It'll get approved, as we said. Bobby will send a few billion their way. They'll figure it out. It'll get by. Let's be super clear.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last thing I want to talk about was SM2. So this was evidently... Ooh.
Nice. You fart your pants?
I did, yeah. If you need to go, you can just leave, by the way. This is, or was, a video game that was being made, a modded Call of Duty, basically. So, like, people unaffiliated with Activision originally made a game called SM2 on the iDub4 engine, which is the MW2 original engine. And you had to own MW2 to play it, but it was just a modded game built on MW2, the original one. And then eventually they were like, okay, we're going to get off the iDub4 engine and do our own thing. So now you don't have to own an Activision product to play SM2 anymore, because now we're not using their engine or whatever. And basically what the game is SM2 is whatever the devs think is cool about any Call of Duty game ever, they put it all in one game. So it has like all the fan favorite maps from every franchise, Black Ops and Modern Warfare, and the if there are any fan favorite Sledgehammer maps, I guess they have those in there too. Same with weapons. And probably same with perks and shit too. I had never heard of this until like 2 days ago.
I had no clue what it was. Yeah.
Apparently this was fairly popular in some circles, and Activision very recently sent them a cease and desist letter because it's Activision IP and it's not benefiting Activision that it exists. And that's not surprising that they got the letter. And then SM2 are complying with it. So that project is dead. There is no more SM2. I guess it was close to like releasing in some fuller state or something.
I think he said he's
like
been in
that.
Development for like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
They've been working on it for 2 years. Yeah, because I had watched some Ace video before we went live, and it was he talked about it, and he was like, oh, a lot of people were extremely excited for this, looking forward to this. I'm like, I had never heard SM2 once. I'd never heard anyone talk about it at all. But he was showing gameplay of it in the background, and it was on terminal. I thought it was actual like MW2 or something. It was like the graphics
exactly
are terrible.
I saw the video as well.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, so it was going to be a remake look of MW2 essentially with different guns, different maps and stuff. But yeah, and one of the games people would have been bored of after 4 hours of it. But
yeah, exactly. And that one of the points Exclusive Ace made in that video where he was talking about it a little bit was like, once they didn't require you to own an Activision product to play the game, of course they were going to get a cease and desist letter. How dumb can you be? Was basically his point, which is absolutely true. They just banned Fortnite creative maps of Call of Duty. You think they're going to let you mod their whole fucking game? Or multiple of their whole game? How do you not see this coming as the developer?
That's kind of my thought too. It's like, it's so unsurprising that I'm surprised they didn't get shut down like a year and a half ago or something, like how did it take them this long? That's what sucks more than anything for the devs. They've been working on it for this long and then they have to shut it down. That sucks. Guy actually wasted so much time. But yeah, I mean, not at all surprising. People are like, oh, typical Activision. Any large publisher would do this, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not just Activision. They all, you're stealing their assets essentially.
Yeah, that discourse also pisses me off because number one, Activision has done it before. I don't know why we're surprised. And then number two, like you said, any publisher is going to do this. Any big publisher. If EA Sports, if someone made FIFA Greatest Hits,
oh my God.
I mean, see ya. It's gone.
EA would have them killed probably.
It's not even, they wouldn't even send a cease and desist. They would just immediately send a subpoena, just a lawsuit immediately. They wouldn't allow you a cease. Like this isn't uncommon or surprising. But with all of that said, I do wish they had not stopped the project so that SM2 could release in full and then people could play it thinking it's going to save COD and going to be super fun and then get bored in 2 hours and then fail to realize that of course it's boring. It's old CODs.
Yeah. That's a game that would be dead, like fully dead within actually like a few weeks probably. Guys spent 2 years making it for it to just be dead on release. Yeah. I mean, they're cool to play for actually a very short period of time. That's it. Oh, this is neat. I'm done though.
Yeah. Exactly. For sure. Yeah, it's crazy to make this. What would end up happening is it would have a very, very small, very dedicated fan base of like actually worldwide like 2,000 people maybe.
Yeah.
And so you just keep seeing the same people every game and it would get boring very quickly for that reason, on top of it's just old shit you've already had before. It's not like, dude, I know Black Ops 2 or fucking BO4 or MW3 was a real fun game and your little dick gets really hard when you think about it. But if you actually went and replayed it again, your head would spin how quickly you would get bored. That shit's old, dude. It's not that crazy in 2023. So anyway. Other than that, that's it. A little bit of an abbreviated ep today. Tanner didn't pay his electric bill because we didn't get enough new patrons, so they're shutting his power off.
Yeah, pay my electric bill.
Pay his electric bill. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. We just released a bonus ep on Ranked Warzone, our wish list, and we will be releasing more Warzone episodes on the Patreon. You also get ad-free and early access, or if you just want to support the show, it's the best way to do it. Reminder, this Saturday, we are doing Ranked Warzone tips and tricks. It's not all about Ranked Warzone. That is a patented, trademarked episode title schematic, and we will send you a cease and desist if you make an all about Ranked Warzone episode or anything like it. Because those episodes are where we are very confident and know what we're talking about. Ranked Warzone, we don't. Still too new. No one really does. So it's going to be a Ranked Warzone 2.0 tips and also tricks episode. That's the plan for Saturday. In addition, we will tack on to that a little section on what ranked play looks like right now. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. some interesting things we're seeing in ranked play that I didn't expect to. For example, thermal optics, using the squall in semi-auto, using ammo type attachments on SMGs rather than another rear grip or something, and more. There's a lot of interesting new developments that the ranked scene has given birth to that we were surprised about. And maybe there will be more by Saturday, so maybe it'll be a good thing. But we'll start by talking about that on Saturday, giving a lay of the land for ranked, and then give you guys our tips and tricks based on playing ourselves and watching younger men than us and women earning top 250, what they're doing. So that's going to be a really fun episode. Very excited for Saturday. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Thank you for watching and listening. Stay humble.
Stay humble.